Hi, my name is Talene. I'm 22 years old. I'm a student right now. I would feel like I just didn't belong in this body. I would wake up in the morning, something I remember very clearly, would wake up in the morning and I'd feel like I never got rest. And I would sleep throughout the entire night, but I'd literally feel like people were just punching me at night, and I'd wake up and I'd have to feel the pain from it the next day, throughout the day. It was constant, never stopped, and I have scoliosis. It affects my entire body. It's affected my digestion, it's affected how I feel, it's emotionally, it's affected just every part of me. And, those weren't the only problems. I have acne, and this is better now, and I'm glowing now, and I look at my face and I get excited because I've seen the improvements. And I'd always have breakouts, and everything that I ever tried, all those creams and those medications, it's like they would help, and then a couple days later I'd see that breakouts were there again. And it was just this constant cycle of happiness and disappointment. My scoliosis, one of the biggest things, that's the reason why I came here. I hated it. As much as people would say, we can't tell that you have scoliosis, it's not a big deal, but I knew that it affected how I looked at myself. And the first treatment that I came in for, literally, he moved my spine. It was crazy because I looked in the mirror and I'd always end up still looking in the mirror right after it, and I'd go to the bathroom and I'd look in the mirror, and I'd purposely go to the bathroom just to look in the mirror, and it didn't change. It didn't go back to how it was. He moved it. And I've gone to MDs, I've gone to other chiropractors, and they've never told me, or even I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the evidence. And MDs would say, we can't do anything for you. You're just going to have to wait. Hopefully it doesn't get worse. And then if it does get worse and it starts hurting your organs and you can't function properly, then you get surgery. And, that just seems so unsatisfying because I'm only 22, and why am I having to deal with this? And I don't feel like I should be having to deal with this at this age, and nobody should be having to deal with this. And, I went to another chiropractor, and he would relieve the pain temporarily for about 2 or 3 days, and then it would come back. But my spine hadn't changed at all. It was still the same. There weren't really much long-term improvements. They were just temporary, just like everything else. And I heard about Dr. Jody from my work, and people would always tell me about him, he does great things. I used to feel this way, and I used to be this way, and now I'm, realizing that, he's actually helping me, and they're seeing those improvements. And so I got really excited because my friend had scoliosis as well, and that was my main reason for coming in. I said, Mom, Dad, we need to go, let's give this guy a try. We've given everybody else a try, what's this, what's one more thing? And they wanted that for me too. So we came in, and he said, you have to follow my instructions and you'll see the improvements. And everybody that I was talking to in the office too would tell me that. And so I stuck by his instructions, and I feel better. I wake up and I am energetic and I'm positive about life. I don't get easily frustrated by things, and things don't affect me as much, I still obviously can empathize and sympathize with people, but I don't become, crazy with my feelings, and I feel like I can control them now. And I'm just have a positive outlook on life. And it's how can that not happen, when you're here and you see these changes in your body? How could you not see something positive about waking up every morning and experiencing life? And my spine's getting better. It's the 7th treatment, and it literally is almost straight. It's crazy. Again, like every time I think about it, it just makes me speechless. I don't know what to say about that because I just never thought it was possible. I actually have balance now. I'm 22 years old, and I figure that I should be a normal 22-year-old without being able to fall over or lose my balance quickly or squat down to do an exercise and not feel pain, which is what I felt. You know, it just didn't feel normal for me. It felt like I was in this body that had been through a lot for years. And it just, I felt like it wasn't fair. Also, menstrual cramps. Those are big for me. Every single month, it's like I knew it's coming, and the week prior, I would get really, really emotionally stable. I would feel depressed, like out of nowhere, literally out of nowhere. And aside from the emotional part of it, I don't really get like that anymore. It's a second time around, it's coming back, but I don't suddenly just start crying out of nowhere for no apparent reason. And physical pain, it's like almost gone. I would literally lay in bed all day. I'd crouch over. I'd find every single position that I could possibly change into so I can get some relief. I would, take Advil, Tylenol, whatever, all these medications for periods, and I'd use heating pads. My mom would, change towels every 5 minutes or so, and I'd sit in baths, and she'd rub my back and all these things, and I just wouldn't get relief. We'd do this for about 1 to 2 hours, and then finally I was able to just relax. But now, last time I had it, I was in class, didn't really feel anything. I was able to function. It didn't do anything to it didn't I can't even think of the word, but didn't change my daily function. It had nothing to do with it. It didn't affect it. And I didn't need to just lay in bed. I didn't feel like I was going to throw up. All these things, I just feel so much better. And, I look at myself now and I have confidence. I walk straight up and I'm looking at the world and just thinking to myself, finally, I wanted to feel this way my entire life. And, I know I felt this way when I was a kid. I didn't have a care in the world. But, teenage years started coming along and all of that. And just lately and finally, it's I feel what I felt years ago when I was a child. And I know that that's worth it. So what's different about Dr. Jadi is that his treatments are brain-based. It was a lot of information to take in when I first came in. He was telling me all this stuff about my brain and how it affected my entire body. So basically, your brain it's the machine. It's how your entire body works, and if that doesn't function properly, then you're not going to function properly. Your organs aren't going to function properly. Your muscles, your everything, your circulation, your emotions, everything that has to do with your brain. Just stop wasting your money. I'll just say that. Just stop wasting your money and give Dr. Jadi a chance, because there's nobody in this world other than him that I've come across and that other people have come across that can actually help, and it be long term. It's not just gonna come around and it's gonna go away. No, he's helping you for long term. He knows what he's doing, and I hope that you give him a chance. It's definitely worth it.